see how you feel a little bit.
I've got 3 daughters, 15 and 11. The eldest one is 17, and I asked her permission to do this first before I did it. 3 years ago, she was dealing with anxiety, and she came to me and it was, Mum, I think I'm depressed. So she was reaching out to me for help, I guess probably for advice. She was only 15 at the time, and I didn't have any advice because I didn't know what depression was. And I was like, no, you're not depressed, you're going to school, in sport. I know we're dealing with the anxiety and we're getting help, but I think you're fine. We were dealing with the self-harm and the anxiety. So she was seeing a psychologist and counsellor, but I suppose the anxiety turned into depression a lot quicker than what I thought. And I always thought, there's nothing wrong with you, but when it's something that you can't see, it's not tangible. And it goes back to a little bit maybe about denial, thinking, come on, get up, go to school, get moving. She couldn't. It took me a long time to understand that, and I suppose respect that. She started to withdraw, and I guess she was trying to rely on other people for help because she wasn't getting it from her family or her parents. With depression and anxiety, your mood swings and you can become difficult. So I think a lot of her friendships came and went over the time. I started seeking more help, thinking she's escalating, and obviously it was too late. Sadly, she tried to take her own life. We go through life thinking this won't happen to me or my kids. I'm in a good marriage, good family, no trauma has occurred. But it can happen to anyone, no matter how wealthy you are, no matter what school you go to, no matter who your family is. That journey as a parent, I probably should have listened. I think we need to listen with empathy. You got to put your stuff to the side. Yourself, you need to be vulnerable as well. You need to be open enough to think, okay, this is happening. What do we need to do? There was a lot of blame. What have I done wrong? What have we done wrong as parents? I suppose my parents, and they don't understand it. I went to workshops. I got a psychologist to talk about how I was feeling, and I don't think there is anyone to blame. It's mental health. Through this process, I discovered there is so much help out there. Places like Headspace, Lifeline. New South Wales Health were brilliant for us because she ended up being hospitalised. She had a caseworker. I think it's seeking out what suits the child that you have. Is it mindfulness? Is it a psychologist? Is it medication? You need to find someone who they connect with. They need to be comfortable. I've got a brilliant bunch of girlfriends who I've never relied on as much as I do now. Talking to them, catching up with them is critical. Physically, I go to the gym, I practice mindfulness, and it's that open dialogue with my husband about how I'm feeling, how he's feeling, and also with my daughter. Just talk about it as much as she will. I'll send hearts on my mobile phone. It'll be a green, a red, or a yellow. And a green, I'm great. Yellow, I'm okay. Red, we need to get some help. I don't think I'll ever understand what she's going through. I'll never understand what's self-harm, but I accept it. It's happening. It doesn't scare me as much anymore. But I think the important thing is never give up on asking for help, seeking advice, because I could have lost my daughter. I think as parents, we're losing too many young people. People don't like sharing these uncomfortable stories. people don't want to feel vulnerable. They don't want to feel like they've failed as a parent. And I think the more we share our stories, the more we'll learn, the more we can stop things happening. We had some hard times along the way. She wanted to quit school, and it was some of that tough talk, no one quits now, you can get through this. So, and she did. She got through those obstacles and barriers. And she reached out to her year advisor at school. And yeah, I think for her, just some key friends to help is really important. She's got 2 beautiful little sisters, and she's wonderful with them, and they're there for her as well. We've all been on this journey together, and I suppose in different ways, because at the time the youngest one was only 8. One-on-one I've spoken to the girls, but not as a family. We haven't had a lot of time spent together, the 5 of us. I contacted Relationships Australia, and they've set up, I think it's a 2-hour period where we'll sit and we'll talk about what's going on in our family. That's another phase, it's another step in the process. Last night I went to her graduation, and I think if you asked me 3 years ago, would she finish school, I'd probably say no, but she did. She did. So she's finished year 12, and that was just amazing. So a lot of hope there. We're still dealing with a lot of, I guess, the aftermath of it because she self-harms. So that's something that we're working through. But she's getting better. She's getting better. Our relationship is a lot better. And there's so much help out there. There's so many services. And yeah, I think the future's looking great.
I can see how you feel a little bit. I can feel how you see a little